All right, we are going to talk about a lot of little things today because it is all about the little things. And when I say it's all about the little things, I mean like the little granular little things. It still amazes me every day how much it's about the little things. We're not even going to be able to hit all the little things today, but we'll get as far as we can and just show some examples of what we're talking about here. And so we're going to start with a property in Georgetown, Texas. This is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Georgetown or Rabu is saying that, our occupancy rate is going to be around 52%. That's for the month of December. But they're projecting about $41,610 a year. That's based on 25 Airbnbs in the area. And so we've got 41,610 annual revenue. And then we can come over and kind of look at, we got a property right here, and this is 3 months. We have 3 in this market, and we had 1 that didn't start until February of 2024. So we just did 3 months from there to kind of get an average. But you can see this guy right here. He's averaging about $5,000 a month. That's a 2-bedroom in Georgetown. So that is definitely beating the 41,610 annual for sure. And so we got that guy, 15,000. We got another guy, he's at 18,000. And then we've got another guy that's right at 15,000 as well. So with 15,000, about 15,500. And then we have another guy at 18,300. So why is the guy at making a little bit more than the lowest one? And then we have one that's making substantially more than all of them, especially when you consider from a percentage basis. One of the reasons is it's the little things. What's interesting about these is they've all been priced very, very similar within a few dollars of each other when you consider base rate. And they're all in great locations. And when you look back and you see like, what's the little things? You think of little things, but they all add up, and some are bigger than others, but they all matter. The first one we talked about does not have professional decor and design. So he's missing out on some revenue there. Same with the second one. They're missing out on revenue, but they're still winning. They're still beating the market substantially. And I think what's interesting about that is that shows that your pricing matters, and it shows that your minimum stay settings matter. It shows that your amenities matter. The last one, the one who is a little bit higher, definitely has some professional design, but it wasn't just about that. And it wasn't just about pricing. It's all priced, again, relatively similar, but it's about amenities. It's about amenities that you wouldn't necessarily think of. And so we can come in and we can see what the market's doing. We can see what market occupancy for the past year is, 60%. And we can go and see right here, we're 85%, at least for those 3 months, 78%. And then here, the guy who's at 18 grand, 95% occupancy. That is just absolutely insane. 18-day booking window, minimum stay or market length average stay 3 nights, market average daily rate 144. What's also interesting about that, when you look at that average daily rate, people pay so much attention to the daily rate, and it drives me crazy because, and move this real quick and see, we have his minimum price at $85. So it's substantially lower than the market average daily rate over the past year. But when we come over here and look, knowing that he can go as low as $85, look what his average daily rate is. It's $167 for his first 3 months. And you got to remember, first 3 months. So he had no reviews when he started on February 28th. No reviews. And he's still, in the first 3 months, averaging $167 a night, which is incredible. 95% occupancy rate, $18,300 of revenue. Absolutely crazy. So, what are those little, what are some of the little things that we're talking about? Well, there's Airbnb, right? And you can go look on Airbnb, which, by the way, if you look, it's not just Airbnb, it's direct booking. It's also Vrbo. That's what some of these colors are here. But you can go to Airbnb and you can look. It's like this red column, those are our listings. And that's not just those 3, it's all of them. But look at the opportunities. And this is amenities. This has to do with your cancellation policies. This has to do, do you have a crib? Do you allow pets? Things like that. And these 8% of the opportunities that we haven't been completed are things like that. Some people just don't want pets. That's fine. Some people don't have a crib. Maybe have a pack and play instead of that. But for the most part, we're hitting all of these other amenities here. That helps us substantially in the rankings, We also respond to every review. We also leave every guest a review, also helping in your rankings. But then it gets even more granular, and it's shocking to me. This was so funny. It was I think September. We're reviewing kind of like what the desired and most common amenities are relative to bookings were, and it doesn't show it on here, at least is where it was at the top. But at the time, the top in September, the top common amenity relative to bookings, I'm not kidding, was hangers. It was hangers. And I could not believe, and I couldn't figure out why it was hangers. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the market thinks. So I told all our clients, hey, go get hangers, put them in your house. Go get hangers. Well, it turns out there was a hailstorm. And because of that hailstorm, there was a lot of people that were coming into town. They were doing longer stays. And so they needed hangers for their clothes. But what's fascinating here, so you have the common amenities here. And the first one, you see, the first one, common amenities relative to bookings, is a smoke alarm. Second is a kitchen, then Wi-Fi, dishes, hot water, essentials, CO detector, self-check-in, hair dryer, bed linens, free parking on premise, microwave, cooking basics, hangers, iron. Those are the top amenities. You remember there's so many amenities on there, and those are the top. Notice there's not things on there. This is in Texas. There's not air conditioning on here. That's not one of the top common amenities. It's obviously important. But you don't think of, hey, what do people want? Oh, they want dishes. They want essentials. They want self-check-in. They want a hair dryer. And so knowing what these are, and they're different for every market, knowing what these are can really help you boost, right, these opportunities over here. And when someone's searching for something, there are people. I literally had one time, there's a property in Colorado. I had somebody give me a bad review because they didn't have a colander. So I have a colander in every property now because of that. In the end, when someone's searching for something specific, if you have it, no one else does, guess who's showing up? You are, not them. That's why we have this super extensive amenities list that we send to all our clients before we go live with their property. But even more so, you can look at these desired amenities, and that's even more powerful. But again, check this list out. Number 1, ceiling fan. 2, wine glasses. 3, coffee and shower gel, private entrance, essentials, free street parking, hair dryer, freezer, extra pillows and blankets, cleaning products, bed linens, hot water, conditioner, and a first aid kit. These are all things that we put in our highly recommended amenities list. But none of these are the things that you would that have a cool factor. It's not like a ping pong table or a pool or a pool table, air hockey table, games, things like that. These are all things that you normally wouldn't think of when you're thinking hey, what's going to get someone to book my property? So again, going back, it is just mind-blowing how all these little things add up. And are you split fee? Are you host pay fee? And if you're host pay fee, make sure you're marking up to help cover for that, unless you're just on Airbnb only, which I highly recommend not being, because as you can see, this guy right here, it's a good chunk of his bookings came from Vrbo, and most people aren't on both platforms. They're on one or the other. So it's two, most of the time, different guest pools. And then, going back to pricing, look at this. $85 our minimum, our base rate's $168. And if I go in here and I look, I'll see what should the base price be? And they'll give you recommendations in Price Labs, and we'll see what it should be. They're saying, hey, $199 would be the 75th percentile for an upscale 2-bedroom, $199. We're at $168, right? So it's man, $168 versus $199. Why are you so much lower? Well, look at this again. ADR, 144. That's the market average for the last 365 days, 60% occupancy, right? And this is that high producing property, 85, 168. Come back over here. What's his day rate? 167. Occupancy, 95. So what's also crazy about it, because you're undercutting in the lower demand times and you're really starting to get higher in the peak demand. Georgetown doesn't have as much seasonality as some of the markets that we're in, say a winter park, ski resort, or maybe a lake area where summer is really peak season. It really kind of drops off in the winter. But check this out. This is nuts to me. You've got This is actually a big concert. And so you have the 25th to 50th percentile is 123 to 161 a night for this particular day, Saturday, April 5th. 50 to 75th percentiles, 161 to 361. Market, the 75th to 90th percentile is 361 to 627. So 90th percentile is 627. We got booked at $1,122. That's literally almost double what the 90th percentile was. And that 90th percentile is across the board. So this is just a 2-bedroom. So just absolutely insane. And the whole point of this is it's all these little things that add up to really make a high performing Airbnb, short-term rental. I'm going to stop saying Airbnb because it's not just Airbnb, it's multiple platforms. But all these little things add up to create a high-performing short-term rental. And you have to make sure you're on top of all of these things. And some of the small little things I'll hit on very, very briefly because they are important. They do matter, but you have to do these on a daily basis. You have to change, make sure you're syncing your prices and you're updating your prices, and make sure your prices are based on, not just seasonality, but also a demand factor. And not just a demand factor, but depending on the property, is there an adjacent day factor, premium or discount, depending on the size of the property. And then you also have occupancy-based adjustments, where what I love about Price Labs is they let us go in there and create our custom algorithm for occupancy-based adjustments on a property. And all of those things, along with, changing property descriptions to where you are updating that from an SEO perspective and making sure all your descriptions within each photo is not just kitchen, or not just blank, but not just kitchen, and more descriptive, because that helps with SEO. And then moving those photos around consistently to help with your SEO rankings, it all matters. And I cannot tell you how much when you have a property that starts performing well, it just starts to get better. Airbnb in particular has every 50 reviews, they start to increase your rankings. So if I go to Airbnb right now, put in, say, Georgetown, Texas, where we have a number of properties there. Same thing in Evergreen, Colorado, and Winter Park, Colorado, and Austin. We're showing up at the top. First properties. So our properties get viewed significantly more than anybody else's, but it's because we're consistently doing all of these little things right. It's not just one big thing. You can't just price it right. You can't just have a beautiful looking property that's staged and decorated correctly, professionally. You can't just do one of these things. You have to do all of these things. But again, that's how you are going to get from this average 144 daily rate and this average 41,000 a year, which is less than $4,000 a month, to where you're getting, it's crazy, over $6,000 a month. And again, this guy started on this day. This was with his first 3 months, started day one, 0 reviews, no history, and just absolutely destroying it. So I hope that helps, and we can help you do this yourself. We have courses, we have training on how to do this yourself, or you can just pay us a low monthly fee and we'll do all this for you. That's it for today, and have a good one.